have an incredible story to tell. One of them claims he was taken off in a UFO and met some aliens. And they're here to tell the story. This happened in 1975, in November, in the morning. And with me are Travis Walton and Mike Rogers. Travis Walton, you're the gentleman who claims you were taken up in the spaceship, and you're one of the eyewitnesses.
Yes.
That's correct. Okay, can you take me back to November 1975? What happened?
Well, we'd just finished a long, hard day's work in the woods. We loaded our chainsaws into the back of this truck that we were in. It was a crew cab truck, so that there were 7 of us able to fit into the truck. Right. It was starting to get dark. We'd headed out of the area, and we were driving out this very rough road when we saw a light coming through the trees. Right away, there was something strange about it. But when we finally got around these trees to where we could see the source of the light, we saw a large disc-shaped object hovering above the trees there. And
you actually got out of the truck, didn't you?
Yeah, I just thought this thing was just going to be gone in a flash, and I'd missed the chance to see it up close. So I got out and went towards it. The rest of the guys on the crew were yelling at me to get away from there and get back in the truck. But as I got up closer to it, I started to have misgivings about, getting so close to it. And when I got up there, it suddenly got louder and started to move and rise up. And so that scared me, and I jumped down behind the end of a log there. And I decided, yeah, I'd better get out of there.
Did you not feel some sort of pull towards this?
Well, it was just, you'd have to know how I was back then. It was just...
How was it back then?
I was a kind of an impulsive sort of person, and a bit of a risk taker. And, the guys yelling at me to get away from there, and they were so scared, and that just kind of egged me on. I'm not like that anymore, but...
you were one of the guys, you were one of the eyewitnesses?
Yes, I was his foreman, and I was driving the truck that day.
And were you as frightened as you just mentioned that?
We were more frightened. He was a little braver.
Well, can we actually get to being actually drawn up into the spacecraft? What did you feel inside?
Well, I decided, I'd better get the heck out of here. And as I raised up to go, something hit me. It just felt like I'd been hit by a truck or something. It felt like an electric shock. And I just blacked out. And
then you found yourself on board, and you say, face to face with aliens.
Yes.
What did these alien beings look like?
Well, I didn't come to real quickly. I was in a lot of pain, and I finally got to where I could focus my eyes. Up to that moment, I remembered going up to it and being hit by something, so I assumed I was in a hospital.
But what did you see? What did you see when you came to?
I saw these creatures standing over me, and at that moment, I just became hysterical. And
what did they look like?
Lashed out at them. They were humanoid-looking, 2 arms and 2 legs and like that, but they were hairless creatures. They had these enormous eyes.
Did they communicate with you?
No, it was strictly one-way street. I was screaming all kinds of things at them, but I never heard them make any kind of sound.
So you actually disappeared. You saw that he had gone then, did you? You drove away and you came back and he had gone.
Well, we didn't actually see him being abducted. We left in panic in the middle of what was going on. I mean, I turned to my right to see him flying back through the air and hit the gas at that moment as the guys in the truck were yelling at me to leave, because it was a very panicked situation, and drove away. A quarter of a mile down the road, I had the sense to stop, and we talked about it, a very hectic discussion among us.
You went back, didn't you? And he wasn't there, and for 5 days.
I saw the thing take off, and I returned to the spot, and he wasn't there.
He wasn't there. 5 days you disappeared for. You had lie detector tests because they thought maybe you had murdered him.
Yes.
I'm just going to briefly go through the story. Also, you've had lie detector tests since then. They say that you were telling the truth, that you had seen this. Have you had contact since with the aliens?
Oh, no. I've been paying attention more to the sky and things like that, but nothing like that's happened.
Why should we believe you?
Well, you have 7 people, all saw the same thing. We've all passed polygraph tests. I mean, you know, what can I say more than that? That's what happened.
The film is out. Is the film similar to what happened?
Oh,
Can you
yeah,
please read the film?
yeah, quite similar.
Right, well, thank you both. Incredible story. Thank you very much for joining us.